Hey friends, good morning. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, last two sessions we are discussing the documentation skills, and so far we have covered the BRD and FRS, and today we are going to talk about the SRS document. Okay, this is very highly required document in any IT based project. Okay, so SRS, so your journey, documentation journey. Will not be complete until you will not be having the SRS document. Until it doesn't produce the SRS document, the documentation journey is not completed for any given IT project. So BRD, you have done you have captured the business cases and as is process. In FRS, you have converted the business requirement into the functional requirement, and then you come up with the to be process, that what kind of process the improvisation required for that client, and then what kind of software it is needed, that you are going to fulfill, make improve their existing processes and fill any gaps. Now SRS document is the final document in terms of this journey, where you will capture the function and non-functional requirements for that application, the software you are going to work on. Okay, so SRS basically, uh, somebody say software requirement specification, somebody say software requirement, SRS, okay, software requirement specification, and then system requirement specification. So there could be different names, don't confuse. Okay, but it emphasizes the functional and non-functional requirements together. That's the SRS document. Okay, and this is the document where the client give their final sign off, and in waterfall model, that will be the base for your rest of application development and execution process. Okay, so when I say SRS, so SRS, what kind of information you are going to put there? So it could be your the first section. You should be dividing that SRS document in two parts. First few sections will be talking about the functional requirements, and rest of the few sections you will be talking about the non-function requirements. Okay, so function requirement you already defined in the FRS document, that you can copy paste, and then little more information that you have gained in between the FRS document creation and during the SRS document creation. Whatever the additional information you have got so far, that also you can capture in your SRS document. Okay, in a SRS document, again, you can call out your risk, etc., and then delivery plan, and then your Gantt chart, and then uh, and then team details. Okay, and then the human diagrams playing a very specific role in the SRS document. So here you will be creating the activity diagram, sequence diagrams, right? So in BRD, you have created the cross functional diagram. In FRS, you created the use cases diagrams, and then in SRS, you will be creating the activity diagram and the sequence diagram that represents the system flow. So it's very important, and during the interviews also, interviewer ask these questions. Okay, the difference between these diagrams and where we use, why we use, etc. So these diagrams, I have already created the videos. You can go through detailed with the MS Visio software. I have demonstrated how you can create, what kind of action buttons, and then what kind of controls you will be using, association, etc. Everything I have explained, guys. You go and watch that and learn it. Now, non-functional requirement, when I say non-functional requirement, is something that you can come up with your hardware requirements. The hardware requirement means what kind of servers you need. If it is a physical servers you have to install as per the client ask, then what kind of capacity of RAM, storage, etc. you will be defining. Otherwise, if it is a cloud, then no problem. You can define that whatever the cloud preferences, if a client is having. Otherwise, you can suggest, oh boss, Azure is good because all the other technologies in your organization are being used for the Azure, so you go ahead with Azure, or AWS or Google Cloud, etc. So In SRS, this non-functional requirement is very essential because there the architects also contributes. You should be talking them closely, working with closely with them, and then defining these some kind of performance requirements, system availability requirements, and then scalability requirements. Okay, so example, when I say performance, so performance like system loading time. So when user access this application, in which time I should load the login page. So that's the page response time, right? And then when you click on any action, suppose you there is a form, and then you're filling it and hitting to the submit button, and how much time is taking. So you will be defining all those criteria as performance requirement. In some organizations there will be very dedicated performance engineers, performance test engineers. So they basically do this all testing, and they also come up with their standard performance criteria matrix, etc. Okay. Hey Garvit, good morning, thanks for joining. Okay, but as a business analyst, a product owner, you should be also able to define these performance matrices, standard cutoff. You know, so page load time should not be more than 3 seconds. It should be less than 3 seconds. When you hit to the submit button, again the same kind of parameter matrix cut down. I mean, the limit you can define. It should save the data. In within these timeline 3 seconds or 2 seconds. When you hit to the API, you are basically calling some data from other system that should be responding within this given timeline. Okay, so these kind of performance related, and if I'm fetching any report, so it should be generated within this given timeline. Okay, so these are some performance metrics related information you will be keeping in the SRS document. Now the system availability, when I say system availability, like it is having two factors. One thing is when system is how much you are making sure your system is available to to the end users in any circumstances. So take an example. If you have a physical hardware where your all data application is running, where you have hosted your application, and you're putting that server in secure room, and then you have given the proper AC, connectivity, etc., electricity, etc., which is up and running. Okay, but think about if any unfortunate situation happen, a power down, a power cut happen, and then your power backup also didn't pull up. The we have the power backups, right? Inverters, etc. It didn't picked up. So it means your server is down. So whichever clients might be using at that moment your application, they will be seeing 4040 error, server not found something. So to avoid that situations, people preferred go to the cloud services because these are having very high, good infra where they host the your application. So Azure, I mean, think about how they are hosting their services. They created in across the US regions, across the European regions, at different places. So and then also they do the mirroring. So one area related service, they keep on copying to the that data into the other region service, so that I need any unrealistic situation like earthquake or something happen to this region. This server, this region server's data is also available in other region which is very far from, so it is not going to impact. So all the bankings, etc., they definitely go with that kind of secure environments. And then power backup failures is the same thing. So if this is down, immediately this will pick up. So it will be like a seconds, fraction of seconds, it will switch the server, your region location, which you have primary region you have marked in your cloud configuration. It will pick up these immediate the backup region, and then it will uplift your link online again. Okay, so your end users, your client users will not be facing any challenge. So that kind of system availability requirements that you can define. Okay, so it should be 99.99% my system should be available. And how you will be making sure that should be meeting that criteria, that something is the architects and DBAs and these people will be discussing. So they will decide, okay, boss, this is not possible to maintain this locally, so we will go with the cloud because they have a better infrastructure, they have a better control, better services, right? And then performance done, system availability done, and then think about that, uh, any kind of security requirements. So any kind of vulnerabilities that can find in the OSS scans, BSS scans, right? So any check marks or some other kind of scans, right there. Yeah, I'm not able to recall all those names, but yeah, black duck, check marks, and any other kind of scanning tools are available. So we and UI scanning tools for vulnerabilities. So basically, you define for your application what kind of security scanning must be in place before production release. Okay, so those things also you define in the consultation of the architects and security teams, so they better understand these things. If it is a web-based application, if you are consuming any open source tool, so it could be having a lot of vulnerabilities. If you're writing the code from scratch by your own, it will be better controlled environment, then the security labs loopholes chances will be very less. Okay, so that's how they do the analysis, they think over, and then you should be closely working with them to understand these things and then capture in the SRS document. Okay, so once you capture these information, functional, non-functional, and then SRS document is created, you basically run through this document with all your stakeholders. They give their suggestions, and then once it is every suggestion is accommodated, you go for the sign up process, and then client, if the client also doesn't have any issue, then they give the sign off, and then you start the implementation process. Okay. Hey Sonia, thanks for joining. BA need to learn cloud computing. Cloud computing. When I say cloud computing, so you should be knowing the cloud services, how the cloud is basically helping in the IT industry. If you understand that part, that's it. Okay, so I told you, right, if you have not joined 10 minutes back, I was talking on the same thing. So in a non-functional requirement, you will be defining the system availability requirement, and there you will be discussing these things. Which cloud service is best? Either you are on-prem, you are going to host your application in a server, or you will be consuming the any available cloud-based solutions. Okay, so as a business analyst, yes, Sonia, it's you should be understanding what is the cloud services, what are the popular cloud services, what are the merit demerits, what are kind of a fee structures, how they are charging to to their client. So some cloud services they charge based on the consumption, and some cloud services they charge as per the login users. Okay, and some when I say consumption, it means how much processor, how much space you have consumed from that cloud service, so they charge based on that. And then some are charging based on the number of login users, so irrespective of how much data they consume, how much processor of that cloud service they consume, they will not be any dependency on that part, but they will be login user based. And the otherwise, the how many number of users, let it be, but as long as we will be charging them based on the number of resources, number of how much space they are consuming on the cloud, we will charge. So these are the decisions BA also can help to the client. Boss, you should go with which model. These are the model, you know. So based on this example, if the client is not going to be having a lot of users, then they will not go with the number of user based sorry, they will go with the number of user based licensing, because 10 users or 50 users, they will take that license. And then irrespective of number of resources or the space they are using, it will not be a problem. But if they are having a lot of users, 1,000, 15,000, they are clients, the companies, product based organizations, they have 150K users, the employees, all going to use that services, right? All going to use that application. So in this kind of thing, you need to decide and analyze which kind of model it will fit best, because the charges will be different. You will see the very drastic difference between these two models. Okay, or you, and then basically it's up to the it should be the, it's up to the client, basically, who can choose which model fit best, and then go with that configuration. It's all configuration in the Azure and AWS configuration screen. There you can choose the model. Okay, so yeah. So now, so SRS document is completed. Now, what basically you have to do is you have to definitely be, while creation and the first version is created, you will be interacting with the developers and other stakeholders to take their early feedback. But yes, once it is finalized, that's the official document, and then now you need to conduct some kind of sessions with your development team and the QA team to explain them. This is what we have to implement and achieve, and then they will be understanding each and every functionality from you, and then they will be, implementing them one by one. But this is the this is the waterfall model. But what about the agile scrum process? So agile scrum process, we don't produce this kind of document until unless there is a specific ask by the client. Okay, so in Agile Scrum, we produce simply the epics on Riley or Jira, and we create the user stories, and that we groom with the team. And then we as a BA or PO, you should be prioritizing those user stories for the team in the consultation of the client, which feature or functionality they want to see first, and then you prioritize those things, and then pull into the iteration backlog or sprint backlog. So one thing is the product backlog, and one thing is the sprint backlog. So when the sprint backlog is there, it means you have already prioritized the stories and pull up into the iteration for the implementation. Okay, register, etc. You print in. That's it. That's the thing. The rest of is not required. Okay. Any further question, guys? And then we keep on talking on the SRS document. Anyhow, okay. Please ping me your questions if you have any. Okay. So now, if you see how it is difficult to get a sign off from the client on SRS document, yes, it is very difficult, because that's the document they want to freeze which all possible information, the requirement they want to see in the application. So they also take, client also take a lot of time to go through and then understand, and then they give the sign off. Otherwise it's very difficult, because that's the final document, and if anything post beyond that, anything requirement comes, it goes into the change register. And once the change register comes, it's another extra money the client has to pay to the service provider. So SRS is the one final document that is the base for that application development, and then your payment, your contract of the software, that will be decided based on that. If after a month or 15 days or 2 months, a client realizing or something new additional apart from these things are mentioned in the SRS document, then it go, that requirement you should be capturing. If you cannot say no, you will not do, but you will be capturing. But you should be immediately discussing these changes, these new requirements, changes or new requirement with your project manager, and then project manager will come up with that change register plan. So the change register will talk about this was the original requirement, now you have make these changes, and now you have to come up with these efforts, the analysis effort, documentation effort, coding effort, testing efforts, and then they make extra charge to the client because you have made a new requirement, sorry, change requirement. And same thing happened with the new requirement. So any client is saying this is extra I want from the application, this is the additional thing I want. So again, that's also go to the change register, where you will be defining that extra new requirement, and then whatever the efforts required to implement that requirement, that we bill them, boss, this is the additional thing you have to pay to us. Okay. Hey Shubhi, thanks for joining. Good morning. I just want to know what is contact management notes. Contact management notes. What is that? I never heard that. Contact management notes. Are you talking about RCA matrix? RCA matrix is that place where we will be keeping the stakeholder analysis, and we keep that stakeholder information, which phase of life cycle of your software development process, to whom you need to contact, who is responsible for what action, etc. So contact management notes, I don't know. Just Google it. I don't know about that. By seeing this contact management note means, I think it is emphasizing that point only, like contact means client contacts, you want to capture somewhere, to whom to contact, when to contact, what which mode you will be contacting them, email or phone or etc. But other than that, I think this is the very close to the RCI matrix. Okay, RCI. Yeah, yeah. Other than that, I am not able to recall that anything similar to this I have ever heard. Contact management notes. No, no. Okay, and see, this all, even the RSA matrix, right? It's not like it's a showstopper, but it is very essential, of course. So as and when you get one primary contact, one main contact from the client side, you basically able to get all other contacts with that person. So that person will help you to find the other contacts. So who should be informed, who should be consulted, responsible and accountable is one thing, and then who should be consulted and who should be informed, that also you should be getting with that primary contact. So they will be usually help, because you're not knowing the people from their organization, right? So definitely is very tricky to get them right. So so they help, basically, that's their responsibility to give us the right contact. If they are not giving us the right contact, so they will not be able to come in later point of time, like, boss, you have not reviewed this with them. Boss, we have asked you, you have not able to provide, or you have given this name, I have done this review with that person, so our job is done. So you should be identifying along with the client who's the right person to be contacted, consulted, informed, or approval authorities, etc. Okay, like that. Okay, so yeah, SRS document, yes, I think I already told, like, it is having the activity diagrams, which shows the system flows. Branch and merge, fork and join, etc. You seen that? I have created the video, guys. Please go and watch that full video. I created the as a tutorial also on the Visio, MS Visio. Okay, please go and watch that. So, and then sequence diagram that will show how the user interacting, and then how the information is flowing to different verticals of your application, any third party application, or database, or the front end, back end. It will tell you each and every flow, so that will help for to the developers to understand how they need to write their code to achieve this they achieve this requirement, to whom, where they need to write an API, where they need to write the front end, where they need to write that database query script, right, to save or fetch, etc. uh, Sonia, next thing, after SRS, next step will be, okay. So as after SRS, I think I have already explained. Sonia, after SRS, you should be consulting with your development team. They will understand, make them understand this is what we need to implement, and then you will be closely working and monitoring those development activities, and then solving their day-to-day queries. If they have anything, any doubt over the requirement, you should be the primary contact for that clarification. And then hence, once everything is software development is done, parallel testers will be developing the test cases, and when it is done, tested fully, you also will be validating the software is done as per the requirement, because you are owning the requirement, right? You are owning the applications. You should know, I have given this requirement, what should be the outcome. So these things should be in your mind very clearly. And then once any build is coming, any functionality is coming for you to validate, you should be coming with that thought process. Like, end user is accessing now your application, then how should be appearing to them? You should be wearing the end user's shoes, right? And then if three things goes well, if doesn't goes well, you will be notifying to the back to the developer. They will fix that. If things goes well, you will be planning to demonstrate that application to the client, to take their feedback. And once they are happy, you are ready to go with the production release along with the release note document. So the release note document is another document you will be producing. A developer also can help in that area, and there you will be mentioning what kind of functionalities you have released against this application in this release version, etc. Okay. And then if a client is, you have the contract to give the end user trainings, etc. So you will be planning the end user training where you will be demonstrating the application functionalities to their end users. Boss, this is the login screen, how you have to take this way, you have to log in. This is the purchase module, this is the sales module, etc. And then you will be explaining each and every functionalities, field information, etc. This is all together a very different effort. You have to play end of the development process and delivery process, and make sure their client users are actually using that application efficiently. Okay. So it's a very hectic process. And then if it is that is the contract your company and the client has signed off and they have paid that amount, you might be involving in that process as well. Okay. Okay, guys. So I think this is the last day of the year, 2023, and then I hope you must be having some plans. Go through that, execute that plan, and then we will meet next year. And then, yes, Happy New Year to you all. The last question is coming again from Sonia. This is the last question I'm answering, Sonia, for the day. Okay. How to practice as a fresher on a real-time project to understand real-time project process? There is no shortcut, Sonia. You have to get engaged in any of the organization as a fresher, or join to an institute where you will be getting some time, kind of some part-time projects, etc. Or you can pick up some case studies from the Google. And then I have I think explained on the case studies as well in my past videos. I have given you how to tackle those case studies, what step by step you have to do these, to explore your capabilities you have understanding through those case studies. Please watch those videos. You will understand how the case study can help to gain the practical knowledge on any subject. Okay. So go through that, and then you will be definitely able to. Can you able to send? No, Sonia, I'm a little I have some. I will suggest you go through those checklist from my video list. uh, I mean, yeah, please put that effort. If you really want to learn, I will suggest you put that effort by you, not by me. Okay. So the video links are there. If you're eager, if you really want to learn, go through those videos, and then you will be getting those all information, all your doubts which you're having in your mind. Start from the day one, day two, day three. I have created all those videos. Go through, watch them thoroughly. You will understand everything. I'm betting on that. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining. Thanks for your efforts, and then wish you all very happy New Year, and see you next year, Saturday, Sunday. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thanks, Sonia. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Bye bye.